So I just arrived in Poland. The last time I visited Poland is more than 10 years ago. I'm waiting for one of my best friends, Robin. This is the airport of Krakow, and in this video I will tell you what Krakow is about. So when people travel to Eastern European countries, they go to bigger cities like Prague or Budapest, so several cities in Eastern Europe. But I think many people don't really think about going to Krakow. So Krakow is still like a really underrated city in Eastern Europe, but it's beautiful. The architecture is awesome, and also there's a lot of history you can learn about. But let's start with some general tips. First of all, when you go to Poland, they don't have euros. You need zloty, so you can withdraw money, of course, or you pay by card. Basically, you can almost pay everything by card. At almost every small bar, there's a possibility that you pay your shots by card. When you fly to Krakow, there is a fast train going from the airport to the city center, so directly to the main station. It's about 18 minutes and you pay around 2 euros for the ride. Also, Airbnbs are really cheap in Krakow. We booked an Airbnb really close to the main train station. It's like 10 minutes walk. I wouldn't go for a hostel if you don't need to. We paid like 20 euros per person. Another thing, of course, there's a lot of beer you can drink and try in Poland. Beer in Krakow is cheap. Very often you pay less than €1 for a beer, and also the food is really cheap. You should try the traditional Polish food. It's called Pierogi. There's some restaurants, even like 24-hour restaurants, where you can try this food. But the food in Poland is not really vegan and even not really vegetarian. You don't want to try this if you're veggie. But Krakow is quite a hipster place, a hipster city. So there are many like vegan options, like really hip restaurants. So some places like those ones. Also, there are like 2 main suburbs you should know when you have like a couple of days in Krakow. First of all, I would recommend that you do the free walking tours. So there are free walking tours in Krakow at the main market square. There's one tour around the old town and there's one tour around the Jewish quarter. Both tours are really good. You walk a lot, you cross the river several times. Make sure that you do both of those tours. Also, one tip is that you start with those tours before you do anything else, because then you already know the city and all the other things you can do around Krakow. So if you start with those free walking tours, you basically cover whole Krakow already. Also, you get like a map, and on this map you find like good places where to eat and which bars you should check out. Because one thing I can tell you, I think you can party a lot and drink a lot in Krakow, but many places are a little bit dodgy. You don't really know what you get. If you want to check out some good bars, try to get that map from the free walking tour. So this evening we're going to do another free walking tour around the Jewish quarter, and now we just hang out a little bit next to the river. So here you see the river, and up there is the big castle where we went to yesterday, also with a free walking tour around the old town and to the castle. Then of course there are a couple of day trips you can do. First of all, like one of the main things is Auschwitz. People are checking out Auschwitz because this is part of the history. It's quite an intense day, but you should go there. It's like 1.5 hours away from Krakow. You can take a bus and you will learn a lot about the history of Poland and also about the Nazis, of course. I think it's really necessary to know about the history when you visit a country, so this is a must. It's actually quite easy to organize this tour by yourself, and it's cheaper, so you can buy like a bus ticket online. I popped the link in the description, and this is the name of the company. It's like 15 zlotys per person one way, so it's really cheap. You can also book a guide online already before you go there, and I really recommend that you do this. This is the website, because when you do this, you have like an online ticket, you arrive and you just enter the museum. Otherwise you have to queue up to get a guide, to get a ticket and stuff like this. Try to do this before you go to Auschwitz. Also, this is the cheapest option to book your guide. There are several ways to visit Auschwitz. There's like a standard tour and there's like a student tour. The standard tour is about 3 hours and the student tour is about 6 hours. They take you around Auschwitz 1 and Auschwitz-Birkenau, so the area is huge. So the 6-hour tour is exhausting. It's of course tiring because you walk a lot, but I think in 3 hours it's not really possible to absorb the atmosphere and the energy of that place and what happens, because then you really have to run from one place to the other. So we recommend a 6 hours tour. So we are at the bus station behind the train station at the moment, waiting for our bus, which is already here, and we take a public bus to Auschwitz. Yeah, and you get there really easy from Krakow. So this is the bus station. There's one more thing you need to know. You're not allowed to bring a backpack. You can bring like a small backpack which is as big as a piece of paper. So we're heading back to Germany right now. Obviously there's much more you can do when you're here. If you got more time, you should visit the Schindler's Factory Museum. There are the salt mines, but this is another day trip. And also there's this underground museum, and then there are a lot of castles and cathedrals and many more places you can visit. We didn't have the time for all of it. So Krakow is an amazing city. Poland is really nice. The people are friendly. Everything is quite cheap. Make sure you go to Poland if you plan a trip around Europe. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a like if these tips helped you in any ways. I'm going back now because we have to pack and then we leave now.